Ridiculous questions.
Meticulously debated.
This is Tell Me I'm Wrong.
Well, I was happy just last night. I've been losing sight. Sighting all the falling fights. What is this if this ain't right? Back again, the monster rights. Losing life until that night. Life never let him lie. Light is my passes right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tell Me I Am Wrong. That is not our name, but we're sticking with it. Tell Me I'm Wrong. My name is Joseph. I will be the leader, the commander-in-chief, the president, if you will, because today is Independence Day. Well, it's not. It's a few days before Independence Day, but it's the vibe is there. It's July. It's close enough. So we're going to go with it. We're going to go with today is Independence Day. I got my two best bros, my friends, my compadres, my patriots. Guys, are you there?
Yep.
That was... I mean, typically we start with our, normal intro, but Joe just went, just took over.
I think we gave Joe a little too much runway on that one.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to do with it.
I'm so just jacked about Independence Day because have y'all ever noticed that we celebrate Independence Day by doing activities that have nothing to do with our country?
That's what we do for most holidays, especially the patriotic ones.
Short of flags and singing a song that we've already established needed to be redone.
That's true. We already
it's
handled
kind of
that one.
old. It's tired. If you haven't listened to that, that was last year's July episode. Go check it out. Not Carl Weathers. Who did I pick?
James Brown.
James Brown. Yeah, I was just drawing a blank. He should have won. He was robbed, but Day Coulier, whatever.
What did we talk about Smooth for?
That was
that was
Josh's
episode.
pick. Josh picked Smooth.
That was was that our first three-way?
That's not a good sentence.
Yeah, that was our first three-way.
It was our first three-way, and I remember it being a very enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
I appreciate that everybody stuck to the ground rules of that.
Lots of eye contact.
Yeah. The rules were followed. Everybody was respected in that particular one. And then I thought it was a very successful three-way.
And then I came out on top. So, I mean,
it
seemed
I don't know about that. I remember it a little bit differently.
I will say our first three-way had a title, and the title was War on Dave Coulier. So you say what you will about how awesome of a three-way it was, but it happened, and that is what it is.
Yeah, I think the saddest part about that episode, looking back, is that a couple months ago when we dropped the Mission Accomplished banner and said we won the war with Dave Coulier, it turned out we didn't. He is still here. He's still around. He won't back down.
Dave came back. He does not follow the Geneva Convention. So
nope.
We tried to find weapons of horrible comedy, but we were unable to locate it. But then we watched his special and realized they were always there.
Oh, Joe, be nice. Cut it out.
Man, lots of cheap jokes here on the front end.
Hey, listen, I took a week off. I brought all the cheap jokes that I would have done. We had a week off between the last episode and this one.
The last few episodes I think a lot of the visual updates have come on the Ryan end of things. But this week, I think we need to give a little update on the Josh end of things. And that is, he is wearing a bright, I'm going to call it fuchsia tank top.
I was going to say the color I was going to go with was fuchsia.
Yeah, it is. If me and Joe both agree that it's fuchsia, I think you can 100% know that it is fuchsia.
And I'll be honest, I couldn't have told you what color fuchsia was, but I saw that shirt and I was like, that's fuchsia.
I feel the exact same way. And I'm not going to lie, he's rocking it.
What is mauve? Is that a smell or a color? That's a color, right?
Mauve is a strange red color.
I feel like that mauve and potpourri go hand in hand with each other. Like most potpourri is mauve in color.
Yeah.
That's a good. I like that.
So maybe it is
like
a
there's
smell.
a lot of mauve potpourri.
Okay, but we're not here to talk about potpourri, although that should be an episode in the future.
All right, mauve potpourri is a good episode
worst
title.
Potpourri smell.
Yeah, write mauve potpourri down in your notebook, and we'll look back in months and go, "What was that about?"
We will have no idea. We'll be scrolling through the text. What were we talking about? But anyways, it's coming July 4th. Independence Day is here. The aliens have already landed at this point, so it's
Welcome
up
to
us to stop them by ending all of our horrible traditions. Now, being the moderator, the leader of this podcast this week, I took it upon myself to do research, to be informed. You know, you see these political debates, and the moderator always has these pointed questions. He knows what he's talking about. Usually.
Well, not always.
No, not always. That actually never happens.
Our listeners know to expect that from us. We are always well prepared, meticulously researched. It's in the title. So, I mean, I think we all know that that's what we expect from the moderator. So Joe is really going to lay out everything that we need to know about this July 4th debate.
The amazing thing is that's what you expect for the moderator, and you still let me do it. That's like the crazy part is
because you're a part of this team, Joe.
We are really at the end of the rope on this is what we're saying. But, so I looked up some stats, some statistics, and guys, they are staggering. Did you know we have a current straw shortage from the amount of straw cowboy hats that have to be produced to compete with the need around July 4th holiday?
Really?
Is it specifically the female sizes?
Well, it's the female, and then the one with Bud Light etched in the side of them.
It seems like that bell curve has really moved from male to female in the last 7 years. And
the other thing is, it's weird because Bud Light seems to be centered around it. I read online that Bud Light is expecting a 1,776% increase in sales of Bud Light and Bud Light with Lime products over the next week.
Well, and that's the interesting thing about the straw shortage too, is that you said it was a specifically Bud Light straw hat shortage. But there's also a straw shortage because what you don't know, and I found this in my research, is that the Bud Light logo is actually already in the hay bales before they pull that to start making the straw hats.
Is that the same hay bale that the horse won that the trainer peed on for Bob Baffert?
Yeah, that was a Bud Light one as well.
Yeah, we actually here in Kentucky, we do have a couple Bud Light hay farms. And it sometimes can really look like crop circles, but if you look at it from the right angle, you can really see the Bud Light etched in the hay.
And when you get really high up, it just spells the word douchebag out, and it's really strange how it goes.
Well, and my favorite thing about that too is if you go through the crop circle there, it's almost like a corn maze that leads you right to the Limerita distillery, our number one export.
And the gift shop is full of nothing but terrible decisions and immense regret. But the fireworks sales is obviously staggering. But the one thing that the ultimate tragedy of this holiday is the amount of wrecks that are involved with small amateur cars that are driven by people in funny hats during parades. It grows at a staggering rate during this week. It's the most wrecks per capita of a vehicle that weighs less than 300 pounds, but still powered by a motor and a grown man.
That is a specific stat.
Well, it only happens this week.
I think one thing that we really need to step up here, specifically in the state of Kentucky, is our click it or ticket program for the Shriners folks. You don't see enough billboards specifically targeting them with the click it or ticket.
Well, the cars are so short, the cops can't see them.
Yeah. Well, see, that's part of the problem is I think we need to have really in-depth conversations about Shriner car reform before it's too late.
So this week's episode is brought to you by the Shriner Mini Car Awareness Program. And we just want to make sure that everybody knows that we really need the research to make these cars safer so that these Shriners in their hats can just be safer in these parades. Maybe we make a hat that expands into an airbag. I mean, the research is there. We just need funding. So if you guys could go to www.safeshrinercars.org, we would really appreciate that. Thank you.
And also, while you're at it, just say a prayer for them. This is a really busy time of year for the Shrinersmen, and they are putting their lives on the line to be part of these parades.
They choose not to get blackout drunk to do this parade. They only get slightly tipsy to straight buzzed for this parade for that one reason. So they are really sacrificing for us.
And I'm down with the Shriners in my town because that used to be where I went to hardcore shows back in the day. Their temple here. They let us rock out there. They are really
temple,
near and dear to my heart. They would allow people to host raves there. I don't really know what their deal is.
We need to have an episode about that. Shriners, Masons, all those. It's something there.
As a Lafayette alum, we used to have our cast parties there. When we
Lafayette,
were done with the
Lexington translator
theater.
Josh Ballard here. Lafayette is a high school here in Lexington, Kentucky. They are the Generals. Ryan here attended there. It also has a part of the school that is for people talented in the arts that Ryan conned his way into because he is, of course, a singer. Go ahead.
I'd also like to point out that my wife attended Lafayette High School.
Joe's wife also attended Lafayette High School.
My father-in-law also did, and they are known as the Pride of the Bluegrass because of their marching band. I only
Pride
know
of the
that
Bluegrass, sir.
Because my father-in-law, who has no kids to go to Lafayette, still goes to band competitions and sometimes drives his truck to transport the equipment.
So the Alika Temple is actually located like less than a mile from Lafayette, and so we would have our cast parties there. But
Did they get wild?
They would get pretty wild.
Tell us about it.
Yes, we. I honestly don't even remember. I just remember that they were there. I remember nothing about them.
No,
so it must have been a good party.
They were not eventful
so good.
at
He
all.
couldn't. He blacked out the entire time.
Bunch of theater kids.
So
in the Shriner Temple.
I thought what we would do is we have a debate.
I also took an AP test there.
Wild times. Okay, so we've talked about Ryan's freaky times at the Alika Temple. That was after the movie theater when he wanted to get real buck nasty.
No, this is before the theater.
Oh, so the theater. This was like the theater was the after party.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where you went when things settled down.
The after party.
So, anyways, when it comes down to it, I think we could all agree that July 4th has by far the dumbest and least connected traditions to the holiday. But let's go through a day. This is my typical July 4th. Let's just go through the day real quick, then we'll get into the debate. We get up, I hang out, I eat breakfast somewhere, bacon because it's America. And then we go downtown to the 4th of July parade. I sweat literally half of my body away, where people pelt you with candy. I watch the Shriners go by, but they're so short, I can't even see them. So I just hear the rattle of the car and see the top of their little hats.
Flying.
Yeah, it's weird. They fly. My father-in-law
and the cars
was
are old and metal and sharp.
My father-in-law was in the alumni band at one point, so he actually played in the parade. Fun fact, when I was in high school, I walked in the July 4th parade and threw candy at children. Literally threw it because I didn't want to be there.
Superstar.
So there's two main things we got to focus on, and I'm going to let you get through the rest of the day. But one, everything is outside, and in Kentucky,
it's 97.
July is the worst month to be outside because this is when all the humidity is just sitting on the Ohio Valley, and we are it's just terrible. And
it's
yet
we
decided, July 4th, let's all go to baseball games and all this stuff.
Yeah,
anyway,
America. And you leave there, you go back home, you have a barbecue of hot dogs and hamburgers and coleslaw and whatever else you think you should eat.
You take your second shower of the day because you've already sweat through your first two sets of clothes.
But I will defend the burgers and hot dogs.
I mean, I love burgers and hot dogs.
If I have to take my third shower because I have the meat sweats, that's fine.
And then you inevitably wear your Old Navy American flag t-shirt that you got that year
100%.
with the year on it. It's a tank top or a t-shirt. All the families got one. It's so cute. And then you watch the biggest waste of time, money, energy, science, technology, know-how, gunpowder,
effort,
everything.
care.
Literally the biggest waste of my life is fireworks. I just want to get that out there. They are the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. I'm glad that I'm going on vacation during July 4th, so I don't have to spend the money that I work hard to earn on stupid fireworks, so my daughter can watch the stupid fireworks because she still thinks they're cool for some stupid reason. I hate fireworks. They're the worst. My family would always want to stick around and watch them at the end of Kings Island. No. Let's go. I'm chafed from walking in wet shorts all day. I'm tired. I want to go home. Screw fireworks. Let's get the heck out of here. Whatever. So
the only firework Joe wants is the burst of the gold bond after hitting his crotch after a long hot day.
I need that while Katy Perry's firework is playing in the background.
Hey, whatever you're into.
I don't think you can overemphasize how idiotic fireworks are. Like, first of all, they were invented thousands of years ago by the Chinese, and I'm sure it was really cool then. I'm sure back then when something exploded and it had color, they were like, wow. But now at this point, why? Like we all have supercomputers in our hands.
Do you know why
would I want to watch
fireworks are good? When they blow them off after the Reds hit a home run. That's it. That's the only time I enjoy fireworks.
Oh, yeah. Sports celebration fireworks are the only acceptable fireworks at this point.
And the thing about Kentucky, too, that we need to mention as now a Kentucky translator, is that we also have another big firework holiday every year, Thunder over Louisville, before the Derby.
Which is also terrible.
Which is televised, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Because who's watching television fireworks?
The best thing is like you buy cameras and they're like firework mode. And I'm like, who's taking these pictures?
Well, no, lots of people are because, you know what? July 4th, your Instagram's going to be nothing but pictures and boomerangs of fireworks.
Here's our second PSA. So we talked about the Shriners. Here's our second PSA. You are about to watch some fireworks this weekend. You're going to see them somewhere. You're going to see some and you're going to be like, you know what? I want to remember this. Just remember it. No one in the history of the world has ever wanted to see your stupid, ugly picture that you can't even tell what it is of a firework or a video or an Instagram story.
I don't even want to see them live, much less a picture or a video. So what we decided to do last year, we rebranded the song. This year, we're rebranding the whole holiday. We are doing new July 4th traditions. Get rid of the fireworks, put them all in a factory, explode it, and burn that mother to the ground because no one cares. So, before we go forward, I have to tell you all my only funny fireworks story in my life. There's a concert that comes to Kentucky that used to be on July 4th called Red, White, and Boom. Now it's in like September. And it was free. I remember the first year it came, Sarah Evans was the act. I don't even know who Sarah Evans is. I know who she is now, but...
Mud in the bucket and clothes hanging out on the line.
Yep. So we go downtown. We're watching Sarah Evans. Everyone is just pissed drunk. And it's in the parking lot behind Rep Arena. All of a sudden, the fireworks start. I'm looking up at these fireworks going, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. And this guy beside me, who is so drunk, he's like swaying in a circle. Every time a firework went out, he would just flick the firework off. And this fireworks show lasts for like
proper response.
15 minutes. So every time it boomed, he would just stick his hand up in the air and give it the finger.
Yes.
American
I love
hero.
This guy. Did you get his phone number? And is it Josh Ballard?
It would pause. And then he'd all of a sudden flick the next one off. And it's just like sometimes he went double flicks. I mean, I spent more time watching him than I did the fireworks.
I'm going to think about this guy for the rest of my life.
So that's my only good fireworks story. The rest of our traditions are trash.
I know I'm never the one that has stories, but I have a July 4th story.
Lay it on me.
So I think some people that listen to this show possibly were on this trip. We decided a couple of years ago, I believe this was 2018. We decided that we wanted to go to a Cincinnati Reds game, and on July 4th. You know, how American can you get? Well, but we went down beforehand. We went to 16-bit or whatever that place is. We went to that bar. We went to the Taft House, which I love. It's one of my favorite breweries I've ever been to. Having a great time. We're enjoying the air conditioning. Then we start walking to the ballpark. It is so like if you're in Lexington this week, it has been absolutely miserable outside. It was that hot in Cincinnati that day. I don't think I've ever been more miserable. I am not a baseball person. I go for the, kind of the theatrical aspect of baseball where you're just like there and, it's like nostalgia and America and things like that. It is literally the most miserable I think I have ever been. There was no relief. It was just humid. So like the sun went down and it made no difference. And I was there was no way to cool off. There was no, there's no air conditioning or anything because it's a ballpark. And then then we stayed for the fireworks, and they were completely underwhelming until it was like 11:30, and I get in my car. My clothes are completely drenched, and then we had to drive home from Cincinnati. It was terrible, and since then, I have sworn off ever going to a baseball game in July ever again because it was that bad.
You really shouldn't do anything in July, to be fair.
No, and
which is kind of what we're getting at.
Unless it's a pool
that's why
or
we
the
did
ocean, something like that. Maybe even a sprinkler. I'll give you that. A lake
or air conditioning.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I like air conditioning. I don't mind heat that much, but to go stand in on concrete and just watch people walk past you and throw candy at you, or watch fireworks or whatever.
Yeah, the idea of a parade in July 4th when you're in the southeast is a terrible, terrible idea.
We're going to talk about rebranding July 4th. So let's start with Josh. We got a story from me, a story from Ryan. So let's start with Josh. If he has a story he could tell us. I have a question for you, and then I want to know your rebranding. Have you ever actually consumed apple pie on July 4th?
Oh, yeah. I consume apple pie nearly daily.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm jealous of that.
That's the only good tradition. You can keep
apple
that
pie
one.
every day of summer for all I care. It is the absolute best. I don't care. McDonald's, homemade, store-bought. Give it to me. I'm happy. Now, we're talking about new traditions for July 4th. And so I was thinking through this and kind of looking at, what direction we should go. And I do feel like this might be a popular one, so we might be focused on this quite a bit. But I think we need to pattern the July 4th holiday after everybody's actual favorite holiday, which is Christmas. So I am proposing that we have we can keep the name and all that, but we can start calling it Independmas. Independmas Day.
Can you spell that for me, for the crowd? They want to know.
Independmas. Do you know what that means, man?
Yes.
So we will have Independmas Day. And so the reason that I want to do this is because...
That's going to be really hard to sing.
It sounds almost like Independence.
Well...
Which is Josh's memoirs.
Yeah, that's a different holiday. That's June 9th every year. So on Independmas Day, we are going...
I can't take you serious when you said Independence.
The date, so the June 9th, just dropping it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
It's okay.
That's the most I've laughed on mic since, Tickle Me Josh.
So on Independmas Day, I'm proposing that we shift some things around on our calendar. So tax day is always in April. That can stay the same. Or maybe we bump it back a bit, give people a little bit of buffer. But I think we celebrate Independmas by the government giving us our tax refunds back.
Oh, okay.
So you want to wait. Okay, this may not be a popular opinion to make people wait for their tax returns until July, because a lot of people use those tax returns for said vacations or expanding their driveway.
That's fine. We're just shifting the date back. You get extra time to file your taxes, but we all get our tax returns on the same day. You got all the sales going on, Independmas Day sales. You got, the Lexus Independmas to remember, all the good stuff. So you're going to have people getting
to remember.
All this money.
You're not telling me you're moving Toyotathon, though, the most holy of all holidays.
No, Toyotathon stays the same. That is unrelated to Independmas Day.
Yeah, you can't move Toyotathon.
So everybody's getting their money on the same day, July 4th. Uncle Sam's coming to your house. He's coming down your chimney. He's dropping your check off.
You're even just straight up stealing the chimney. You're stealing
the chimney. All of it.
Okay.
But we scrapped the fireworks because everybody's got cash to spend now. Now, Erica today, when I was telling her my thoughts on Independence Day, did point out a good topic, which was folks back home where she's from would spend all their money on fireworks.
Yes.
Which is fine.
I was about to say.
Free market, whatever.
Yeah.
Go spend your money on what you want. If you want to spend it on fireworks, we'll all hate you.
Screw the free market. We got to make a law against all fireworks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Scrap the fireworks entirely. Spend your money on other things. Go to the lake. Yeah. Go buy yourself go buy your kids bikes. It's Independence Day. Go get a mattress. So you're going to be taking the money that Uncle Sam dropped off at your house because just like Christmas, we need another creepy old man sneaking in your house. And you're going to take that and you're going to do that. Now, you might ask, well, Josh, bad kids get coal. What happens on Independmas Day? Now, the simple answer might be, sorry, you owe more taxes, but I don't think that's enough.
Well, and kids, they don't really generally pay a whole lot of taxes.
Well, hey,
this is a holiday for the adults.
Yeah.
I dare say kids help you with taxes.
Yeah. So if you've been bad, we're bringing back the draft.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. Uncle Sam wants you.
Of all people on this podcast to bring back the draft in full force, I did not think Josh Ballard would be that person, but I'm here for it. I mean, I'm not here for the draft, but
look, you have to, and the thing is you have to be good all year. You have to, really love your neighbor, be a good neighbor, be a good American, help your community. So if you're bad, you get drafted. Now, the thing too is, do you get drafted and get to serve in the military and make the good money and get, no, you don't get any of the benefits. You're working in the mess hall. You're working as a janitor.
And you're not getting paid?
No, you're getting paid. So you're getting paid to be the janitor, to work in the mess hall, to do any of the odd jobs at the barracks, at the fort, wherever that folks don't want to do. You're taking some of the time and energy you're onto yourself and giving it back to the military because, they're serving. So they should not have to do all these menial tasks on top of serving their country. So you're getting drafted to do that. Do you get a uniform? No.
How long is your service?
3 years.
So you're drafting children who have been bad.
No, not children.
Years.
Not children. Joe, this is Christmas for adults. Children don't get refund checks.
Because we're replacing Christmas. So Christmas still exists. This is the adult holiday.
Yeah. Now, you might say, Josh, aren't they just giving us our own money back? Yes. However, most of us forget that when our tax refund shows up. We go, oh, thank you, government. I appreciate this. Completely did not notice that I paid you way too much money. So I don't think it'll be a problem.
Took too much money.
Or took too much money. One of the two. So, look, is it the perfect holiday? No. Are we workshopping it? Yes. But I think Independmas Day is going to be the new way to celebrate America.
Well, this is not how I thought you would go with this. It's by far, I would say, a completely different direction than I thought we would go with this, but it's not bad. I kind of like it. I like the mid-year gift from the government. That's your own money. They're re-gifting you what they took from you.
Well, look, and I'll point this out too. We're harping on this whole you're getting your own money back. Yes, but when you buy Christmas gifts for your significant other, y'all are married. I'm going to be married someday. Aren't you just spending your own money to buy somebody else a gift?
Listen,
it's the exact same thing.
Listen, if we want to have an episode where we talk about the logical fallacy that is gift giving, then we can do that.
Yes.
Because I am not a huge fan of gift giving. It's not how I feel appreciated. And it just seems like a cycle of me handing $50 back and forth.
My love language is gift receiving. So if you all want to love me, you can love me anytime.
Oh, okay. So we'll
save this for our Christmas episodes, I'm certain. But I really, really stand strongly by the fact that we should stop buying gifts for others and just spend our Christmas buying gifts for ourselves. It'd be
100%
better.
Just buy
your money would be
want.
Better invested.
Yep.
You're not buying somebody a gift card to somewhere they don't want to go. I don't have to go to the Olive Garden. And I know we had this exact same rant on our Christmas episodes, but I don't have to go to the Olive Garden.
I don't want to be mean, but you also don't have children.
Oh, no, we still give gifts to kids because
that's like the coolest thing.
That's the exception. And that's actually how I think all gifts should be given. You only give gifts to kids under 13. And after 13, you don't get any more gifts.
I will say, though, I thoroughly enjoy buying gifts for people. I don't like buying or receiving gifts.
I know I sound like a Krampus, but
well, I mean, that's just to me. I enjoy getting you something, especially if you don't expect it. I don't know. I guess that's how I show my love, acts of service and gifts. But anyways, so we're getting rid of gifts. We're sending people into the draft for 3 years. Are companies required to keep their jobs?
Nope.
So
capitalism, baby.
So I guess my question is, how do you decide who's good and bad? What makes you good and bad as an adult?
That's Uncle Sam's job.
Uncle Sam gets a list every year.
But he works for the U.S. government, so he does not check it twice.
Yeah. He doesn't check it
Are we
twice.
doing if you break the law, that's the cutoff? If you break...
I know.
Not necessarily.
No. I think we put this, you know what? Santa has elves and other folks to do all his dirty work and make the list for him. That's what the House of Representatives is for now.
Oh, God, we are screwed as a country, people. We're all going in the draft.
The House maintains the list. And okay, look, I'm starting to realize this is a terrible idea. I just want to get that out of the way. I don't want to defend this and say this was the best argument of all time. I'm starting to realize that this could be abused.
You got to own it.
Massively.
No, just own it. Steer into the skid.
I just, much like the rest of the country, I'm just going to go full fascist. They can do what they want. House of Representatives, throw people into the draft.
Or next up, Josh is going to be saying, if you don't clean the kitchen well enough, you'll be placed in the stockades.
I'm not against it.
It's under consideration.
The new regime is here. This is the Forever Purge. That movie doesn't come out this Friday. It comes out now. Okay, like Ryan, let's hear about what uplifting thing you're going to do to celebrate the freedom of America.
All right, well, I went in a different direction.
It would have been hard not to go in a different direction.
Yeah, that's true. But not an entirely different direction, because I think when you're looking at rebranding a holiday, you have to look to the holiday with the monopoly, and that is Christmas. It owns almost half the year. I mean, basically, here in next week, we're already on that Christmas creep, and it's coming. So I think you have to be, where did Josh just go?
I don't know. He just got up and left.
I guess he was offended. I'll start back when he comes back. I know he can still hear us, but that was rude.
I thought he unplugged his headphones.
I think
what the hell just happened?
I had a Diet Coke for me. I apologize.
Ryan goes, did I offend him?
I
heard. we might have to keep that in the show.
Yeah,
that
I think that's
funny.
actually really good. Like, just listeners, if you don't know, Josh literally just got up in the middle of Ryan talking and left the room.
As soon as I started talking, he was like shifting.
He just turned around, showed us his ass, and walked away.
Look,
and it was his bare ass.
First off, it was not my bare ass. It was bright orange shorts to match my fuchsia tank top. Secondly,
not they are not mauve.
They're not mauve. Secondly, Erica she had to run an errand for herself, and she came home with a McDonald's Diet Coke. And Josh is tired and needed caffeine, and you can't let this sit, because we still got a little bit of podcast to go here. And by the time we finish this,
so listeners, in the next 25 minutes, you can compare the next 25 minutes to the first 30, because Josh is now going to be more caffeinated. So if he gets a little bit more peppy mood, if he decides to shift away from the draft, you'll know why.
Listen, you all.
Nope.
You all have never seen Josh, but you've never seen a man who loves diet soda like Josh Ballard. That it's like the Instagram super zoom where it's the hearts. That's Josh every time he sees a fountain soda. A fountain diet soda.
And if you're a soda drinker, anybody knows the Coke from McDonald's. It's just better.
Listen, that's the first regular soda I'm going to buy. That's it. I'm going to McDonald's to get a Coke.
Okay,
all right,
so
Ryan,
back to my point.
Tell us about your rebrand of Christmas.
So like Josh, you have to start with Christmas when you're thinking about rebranding a holiday, because Christmas has really owned the market. So when I started thinking about the best parts of Christmas and all the other holidays, I really came to the conclusion that you need a figure, a mythical, some sort of legendary / mythical figure to base the holiday around. That's where everything is anchored on: Santa Claus or Papa Noel, Easter Bunny, Saint Valentine / Cupid, Saint Patrick. You've got all these holidays that are based around a central figure.
Okay.
So I think that is one of the reasons that July 4th has not really people don't have like a set tradition, or we have terrible traditions of fireworks because we don't have anybody to anchor everything on. So that is where I am introducing Uncle Sam's sister, Aunt Julie.
Okay. All right. So you kept Uncle Sam and introduced a new. I like this. So is this like a Mr. and Mrs. Claus situation, except they're related?
Yeah. So this Uncle Sam, as Josh has said, we cannot rebrand Uncle Sam. He has been around for well over 100 years. He has a pretty instantiated personality. Like, I don't think you're going to be able to rebrand Uncle Sam.
Well,
by casting some young actor or anything. Everybody knows who Uncle Sam is. He's a little too nationalistic, if you know what I'm saying. Before
you get moving too far, you said we can't rebrand Uncle Sam because he's been around 100 years. Where literally 1 year ago we rebranded the song that represents this country that has been written for like
rebrandable because everyone hates it. That's
I don't know that you're going to meet a lot of people out there who say my favorite mythical character is Uncle Sam.
No, but what I'm saying is it's going to be hard for people to accept a new personality on the Uncle Sam facade.
Look, I don't know. I think a lot more people are going to really love Uncle Sam if it'll keep him out of the draft. I'm just saying.
That's true. If we force them into liking Uncle Sam, then that's, I think, really the only way. So I decided to go with
theory that Josh has. There's some stuff here that is questionable and scary.
So I decided to go with Aunt Julie. And so it's 4th of July, Julie, just trying to make it a little cute there. So Aunt Julie is a millennial, and she is the younger sister of Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam is old and tired, and Aunt Julie is the new fresh face of what July 4th is going to be about. Now, I also took the best part of another holiday and put it into July 4th, and that is the Easter egg hunt. We're turning that into a hunt for small presidential figurines, and this is inside, but it's not at your house. It is at the mall, because there's nothing more American than going to the mall and searching for things, especially when you're trying to find a sale. So. Here's the key, though. Whoever finds President Coolidge is the one that wins the scavenger hunt, because he was the only president born on July 4th.
Oh, okay. I like the research.
Yeah. So there you go. So that is really like the activity of the day. It's inside. It's air conditioned, but it's still a big event, and everybody's talking about, Aunt Julie has hid the presidents everywhere, so we got to go find them. And then you're also learning about the country. And then after that, everybody goes and you go to the cherry farm, the cherry tree farm, and you chop down your cherry tree, and then you lie about it to your parents because George Washington.
So before you move forward, I do have one question.
Okay.
This is not a question that has anything with your answer. What century did Calvin Coolidge be a president in? Was it the 1900s? Does anybody know? That's probably, there's like a stretch of presidents that I literally know nothing about.
I don't know most of the presidents. He was born July 4th, 1872.
So he would have been president in the 1900s.
And he was president from 1923 to 1929. I
feel like once you got past Lincoln, no one really cared about the presidents until like FDR came around.
That's probably true.
I guess Eddie Roosevelt would have came around first.
Eddie Roosevelt, everybody's
not
favorite.
Eddie Roosevelt. Damn, why did I say that? That's terrible. Guys, listeners, I'm not as dumb as I sound, but I'm kind of dumb.
I was going to say, Joe does sometimes come off like a little more dumb than even the character that he plays on the show.
Like I said that, as soon as I said that, I was like, nope, that's not right. Going to be made fun of. So, all right. So you're rebranding with Aunt Julie, which makes me think of one of my favorite July 4th movies. I Know What You Did Last Summer. It takes forth on July 4th. Julie James, Jennifer Love.
There you go.
There you go.
So, and then Josh wants to institute the draft where you have to work but not get paid.
Okay, I want to specify Josh doesn't want to do this. Cannot stress enough.
Of all the things that you could have chose, this was the tradition you set forth.
You did pick it.
You could have went with anything. You could have said clothes are optional on July 4th, and you decide instead to go with
I'm going to free beer.
Institute a draft where if you didn't behave, and the people who decide if you were behave are the same ones who are going to pay you the money that they took from you, and they took too much and decided maybe you should get some of it back.
You decided the privileged white men who live in D.C. were going to decide who goes to the draft.
Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to the moderator's office, and we are going to not we're going to just go to the moderator's office and we'll come back. And maybe we'll hear more about this draft that I hope to God never happens because I'm bad sometimes. So I'll be one of the first ones to go because I'm bad and stupid sometimes. So let's go to the mod office.
You shouldn't have gotten in shape, Joe. You would have been much better off.
I would have fit right in with all the other slightly balding middle-aged fat men that are out in America right now. So let's go ahead and go to the mod office. We'll be back.
What is Ryan doing?
We're in the mod office right now, listeners. I just want to let you know, Ryan has currently put his hood up on his jacket. He's leaned super close into his microphone, and the red light from the bottom of his microphone is just making his face glow. And he's also picked up his computer and brought the camera of his MacBook really close to his face, and is like basically just rubbing his face back and forth on his microphone. And now he is mimicking that he is going to eat his microphone, swallow his microphone, whatever it can be. I want to say right now, where else are you going to get content like this in a podcast? You're
nowhere.
Not. You're not going to find anywhere. And that's why we don't have any advertisements this week, because everybody's like, you know what? I don't know if we can hang with these guys. But if you would like to try to hang with us and advertise, we are more than willing to have that discussion with you and would love to get in contact with us. Also, I know you have friends that need to be ready for this draft. They speed to work every morning. They are counting on that tax money in April because they did an addition to their driveway. Money. They still owe me money, maybe. Who knows? So tell them about this podcast. Tell them about how funny we are. Tell them about how we went to war with Dave Coulier because he had weapons of bad comedy.
We're currently at war with Dave Coulier.
And I
can't stress this enough. The threat is still active.
We just had this meeting, Joe. The war is raging, and we need to figure this out.
Tell them to listen to this episode and then go on and rate us 5 stars in Apple Podcasts and or Spotify to make sure they subscribe, and then go tell another friend, because that's freedom, that's America, that's Eagles, that's free beer, and that's eventually going to the draft. So thank you for all that. We're going to leave the mod office. Ryan's got his like Eminem 8 Mile look going on right now. It's really weird. And we're going to try to bring this together. Who knows? I mean, it's close to anarchy, which is, fireworks. So let's go back to the debate. When it comes to July 4th, I think of consumerism. We buy fireworks, we buy shirts, we buy little cars that men drive around wearing funny hats. We buy picnic tables and easy ups, and we buy pools and floats and everything else. What is the item for each of your all's new July 4th tradition that's going to be the must-have item that everyone is going to seek after? They're not going to be able to find. It's that special beer. You can't find it anywhere. What is the item people is going to be a must-have for July 4th for you all?
An ice cream maker. No, wait.
That was quick, and then you immediately retracted it.
I was just trying to go with the gut, and I
think that's a good one. Now let me ask you this:
I feel like that's a good one.
Is it the old school, like where the bucket with the ice?
The bucket.
Okay, so is it a hand crank or is it electric?
No, it's electric, but it's like, and it looks old, but it's actually like Pottery Barn, where like they make it look old, but it's super functional. So everybody wants this new thing because it's Aunt Julie's ice cream.
Oh, and so the country is using consumerism as a weapon against the people of America.
Exactly. Okay, so I mean, in the good old American way, they're using consumerism as the driving force behind our entire country.
Okay, all right. I love homemade ice cream, so I'm here. Rachel, my wife, makes a fantastic vanilla bean ice cream. Homemade vanilla bean ice cream.
Just throw some bourbon in there, and then I'm all good.
You don't even need the bourbon, dude. It's got whole vanilla beans in it. Oh, it's so good.
Don't you Josh, say that to me.
Josh,
I always need the bourbon in there.
I am excited and terrified to hear about what your product will be.
Well, I think the answer is pretty obvious here.
Is it?
And that is political donations to your representative. I think you're gonna get
war bonds.
You're gonna get that refund check. You're immediately gonna
spend it to buy yourself out of. So you're basically selling get out of jail free cards.
Yeah.
This is like a post-apocalyptic world that Josh has built.
Josh's goal for July 4th is to end America as we know it.
It's just full bald-faced corruption. Like they lifted all the veils. It's like, give me money or you're going to the draft.
Listen. Look, like I said, this is a terrible idea. I'm not the originator of this. I'm not suggesting this is a good idea.
Okay, hold on. No, you know what, Ryan? That maybe Josh didn't come up with the one. Josh, whose idea was this?
Q.
Oh no!
The guy from James Bond?
No, he's
Q Branch.
He's saying the conspiracy
Listeners,
theorist.
I was hoping that this was the moment that Josh Ballard was going to throw his beautiful, loving fiance under the bus and tell her it was her idea that he should do this. But even he was smart enough not to do that. So let's.
That's actually a good idea. It was Erica's fault. That's a better idea.
So. Oh my God, this is the stupidest debate we've done in a long time, and I love it.
That says a lot.
Okay.
It says nothing. This is who we are.
So Ryan's going to sell consumerism, and Josh is going to try to sell you your freedom.
Yeah, both very American.
I'm gonna go a throwback here. When you think of your July 4th song, what's the song everyone is playing? You're blaring it at the lake. You're blaring it at the park. You're at your home barbecue. What song? It doesn't have to be July 4th related. Just what do you think the anthem of your rebrand is?
I think the answer is pretty obvious for mine, which is whatever song your House of Representative member likes most.
It's just catering.
You just got to find out what they like, and you play that just nonstop.
Well, that wasn't not what I was hoping for. Ryan, do you want to give it a shot? Okay. I can vibe with this. We're going to get shut down because of copyrights, but I can vibe with this.
Oh, yeah. Everybody gotta shine. So Lizzo
don't worry. Just to make sure everybody knows, because of copyright issues, I had to replace that with an entirely different song.
Yeah. So I don't have any idea. Whatever Josh just played, that's the song. So no. I mean, the song that I played was actually "Juice" by Lizzo, because that song is a vibe, and I feel
I'm with you.
You got Aunt Julie. You just found Calvin Coolidge at the mall.
Juicy Julie.
You're going to chop down your cherry tree and take it home, and then make some Aunt Julie ice cream. Like that's everybody gotta shine. Yeah, I just that's what came to me.
And then if you get drafted, you could just tell the House of Representatives that didn't choose you, so you can blame it on the juice.
Blame it on the juice.
Okay. Well, this is decision time, people. This also,
I feel like a lot of people blame a lot of things on the juice for July 4th, so it goes well.
Yes, it goes along with the straw hats. This is the time as your leader that I am forced to choose the best fit for you. Does your vote matter? Your vote matters absolutely in no way. It ultimately comes down to my decision. Popular vote, nothing. What I choose is what you get. Is that scary for you? It should absolutely be with the two options I have right now. I went with Josh first. He came out with this radical idea to rebrand July 4th as your tax day, but also the same day that you could end up being drafted to go in the Army and serve for free for at least 3 years. He
did redact that to say that they were going to get paid.
Okay, you will get paid a meager rate, you will lose your job, and you have to clean the lunchroom all the time. And my question is, with all these people who are going to get drafted, how many lunchrooms do we have? Because there's a lot of people out there that are going to get drafted because of in this system. When it came time for the hot item everyone needed, that you wanted to spend this new fabulous cash check you got, this from taxes. I just said cash check. That was terrible. Tax check. you're going to use that money to try to buy your freedom from your local House of Representative. And when it came time to listen to whatever song you have to listen to, I guess they put out like a public, like a statement, written statement from their PR team of what song you should be listening to at that time. Then you have Ryan. Ryan pitched the new mascot of July 4th, Mrs. Julie, Aunt Julie. Was Aunt Julie? You said his sister, right? Uncle Sam's sister. So it'd be Aunt Julie. And she's going to go on a scavenger hunt in the mall, which, listeners, you're not from here. If you are, you know Fayette Mall is probably not a good place to go. It's sketchy at times, and especially on July 4th when there's a lot of people there, it's hot, and you're all trying to do scavenger hunts and win an ice cream machine, which I do love homemade ice cream. At least you get the vibe out to a good song while you're doing that. So what it comes down to is, what life would I like to live? Which holiday would I most want to observe and enact as my first executive order as president? And I'm happy to say that I want to enact none of them because they're both terrible, but I will ultimately go with Mr. Ryan Story.
Thank you. I honestly, it seems like honestly a formality.
How could this be? Why would you do this? My argument was so good.
I about spit out my drink.
Even Josh knew that was.
So here's the thing.
Yeah, let's talk about the draft decision, Josh.
I really didn't know, and I was really hoping that Josh was going to come in with some good song, and any Kid Rock song really would have been a hit in that moment, and probably maybe would help push them to a victory. But it just seemed like picking a song was going to cost me more money because I had to pay for the politician's choice. Now, Ryan, I will say this. My idea of a good, fun July 4th isn't probably going to the mall and doing a scavenger hunt.
It's better than sitting outside in the heat watching fireworks.
There's probably other options I could do.
But listen, a holiday, it has to be something weird because
everyone does the same thing. I mean, Christmas.
One of the things I learned in my research is that everything we do for every holiday is weird. The only one that makes any sense is that we just drink on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, and Thanksgiving seems pretty legit. I mean, that's the holiday that was the miss. You all should have went with Thanksgiving. You eat, you hang out, you go home, you shop the next day.
Yeah, but we're talking about America, and America has screwed up Thanksgiving year after year after year.
America screwed up every holiday year after year after
Exactly. So this is the holiday that celebrates America, so it's impossible. It was an impossible task.
It was an impossible task. I think you all made it more difficult and harder, but we'll go with
Josh, that. Josh, let's have a conversation about just without Joe for a second. Every time you and I debate and he moderates, we spend the last 5 minutes getting chastised about how we should have done it differently and how we did the debate incorrectly or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Ryan,
I feel like I've had about enough of it.
Ryan, I just want to say, first off, you won. Secondly, I think this deserves chastisement because Josh talked about instituting a draft based on someone else's opinion of you, where you were mandatory required to serve 3 years in the armed services.
Josh did not suggest this. I cannot stress this enough. This was given to me
slander
by the spirit of Uncle Sam.
So now you were divinely inspired to give this terrible decision.
I fell asleep last night and I had a dream where Uncle Sam and Eddie Roosevelt showed up and bestowed on me
that was our mistake. We should have branded it with Eddie Roosevelt, everyone's favorite president.
I think, I told you, sometimes I act up, but sometimes I just legitimately feel dumb. This podcast really brings those moments out.
No, Joe, I don't think you're ever wrong.
Roosevelt.
When you misspeak like this with names, I think Joe just actually exists on Earth 2, where Eddie Roosevelt was fact the president of the United States.
Actually, I don't even think it's Earth 2. I don't even think he's adjacent. He's actually from Earth 38, where it's there's
just way ahead of us.
Some overlap. There's some overlap.
You're right. Because if we're on Earth 1, which is a wild assumption, if we're being quite honest.
That is true. That is true.
I mean, Congress, the House of Representatives that's deciding our future, did just admit that there was flying aircraft out there and they can only explain one of them.
Exactly. So, if we're on Earth 1, like I said, wild assumption, Earth 2 certainly would not have an Eddie Roosevelt. That's a little too on the nose.
Yeah. You have to go around and back again to get to Eddie. You have to go all the way
Earth 38.
To Jurgen McShurdenson and then back to Eddie Roosevelt.
And then they're like, I guess we just start recycling the old ones. Alvin Coolidge, you know?
Listen, I found an Eddie Roosevelt on Facebook.
Well, I'm sure they exist. But
well, that's who I was talking about.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you, everybody, for joining our lovely episode discussing stupid traditions that we would like to institute for the 4th of July. If you would like to send us some of your ideas for the 4th of July, please do that on social media.
And they've got to be better. They've got to be better than ours.
Really, if you spend more than 3 minutes thinking about it,
then I'm scared.
Yeah, if you find something worse, then we'll definitely talk about you on the show.
We may block you, but we will definitely discuss it on the podcast.
I also want to thank Isle of 8, our lovely provider of our wonderful theme song, Jean Jacket. Has been our theme song since day one. It will be our theme song until we die.
Listen, that should have been the anthem of America.
You're right.
It's a banger in America.
Anytime we do a music episode, we always have Jean Jacket to fall back on, and we never do. And it seems like a missed opportunity.
So just to springboard off what Ryan said, reach out to us on all social media platforms. We are on there. But yeah, definitely give us a follow on there. Also, if you are not currently subscribed to the podcast while you're finishing this up, go subscribe real quick. Go ahead and give us that rating and review of 5 stars. It helps us just to grow the podcast, get in front of new people, and they can also hear how stupid we all are for saying these things. But we really appreciate you listening. Tell a friend. That helps us more than anything else. And thank you all so much. Have a great, safe 4th of July.
And while you're online, head over to tmiwpod.com. Over there, you can find all sorts of resources to connect with us. You can write us a little note, tell us how much you love the show. You can pass along a message to us for us to share with your representative to tell them why you shouldn't be drafted. And also, due to the terrible ideas that were presented on this episode, we do have a new page on our website called Cancel Josh Ballard. We can't stand for this. He's got to go. Just an absolutely terrible idea. So whoever Josh Ballard is, he absolutely sucks. Let's shoot him to Earth 38.
One more quick note. So we are, as we said last week, we're going bi-weekly. Well, it turns out we might not be able to keep even that schedule just for a little while. This is a very temporary thing. We are hoping to get an episode up, but we're not really sure when that's going to get edited.
And it might be something weird or different. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we might just, it might just be Ryan talking to himself in in what we call the pandemonium cube, where I just sit and ramble for an hour. It might be me and Joe having a lovely conversation without Josh, and where we actually can explore friendship and kindness without the anchor of Josh bringing us down. But no, we were gonna try to put an episode up. It might be another week late, but we promise we are gonna stick to the bi-weekly once things calm down.
We're gonna get it figured out. Joe's got to go on vacation. I've got a work thing that's taken up a whole week. It's just it's crazy right now. July, as we said, you shouldn't be outside doing things, but unfortunately we are all outside doing things, so we screwed up.
Well, that we are now at the very end, and that means that I have to say, as always, there is one winner, but we're all losers. Later, losers.
See ya. I'm so sorry.
Let freedom ring. Let the Americans pay. Let the whole world know that today is Independmas Day.